Hello everyone, and welcome to Buddyfight of the Future Kite Variety, episode 23.
Woo!
Drum starts his adventures.
And I'm glad they weren't resolved one episode later.
Even though he could have easily, since he figured it out, but whatever. We'll get to that when we get to that. Start us off.
So Drum goes home to his Coliseum. Well, not Coliseum, what's that other thing? Pantheon?
Oh, very good care.
Anyway, he goes there and he's like, Dad, you won't believe all the things I've learned. I've grown so much. And he's like, yes, you have grown. You've grown so big, haven't you? You're a good little dragon. Then we find out he's surrounded by babies.
Because, you know,
that's what you do.
That's what you expect.
And Drum's like, are you even listening to me? And he's just like, no. What are you even doing here? Have you learned anything? And he's like, well, see, the thing is I want to get stronger and stuff. And then the babies start crawling on him and he doesn't know what crying is.
Even though, you know, they're babies of his own race. So clearly he must have seen a baby before.
And then his dad says the weird problem of if a baby dragon cries and no one's around to hear it, does it make a sound? I'm like, I don't think that's how that metaphor works.
No, he's not with what he's trying to say. Whatever.
Yeah, usually that's theoretical physics, but moving on. So yeah, Drum's like, guys, so yeah, I want to get stronger. I want to do my training more, and I'm actually going to pay attention this time. And his dad's like, you haven't learned anything! Table flip!
Table flip.
And he's like, you're already strong enough. You need to learn what you're missing. He's like, isn't it just that I need to get stronger? And he's like, wrong! I banish you from Dragon World till you understand what you're doing. Then he roundhouse kicks him into the sky. Which is pretty amazing. Definitely a highlight of the episode.
He was done with this business. So I kicked someone into Dungeon World, but before that, if I recall, we go back to Gao and...
Priss Dragon.
Yeah, we're just gonna keep on Priss Dragon.
We think he's voiced by Shingo, actually.
Yeah, I think he's voiced by Shingo. He's had some mannerisms that sounded exactly like him.
Yeah. We were just like, it's totally Shingo's English voice actor. But anyway, moving on. So then, Priss Dragon's like, come on, Gao, let's be buddies, it'll be fun, come on, play with me. And Gao's like, oh no, it's weird doing it with another person. The gay overtones just keep flying. So then,
better than the most recent episode of AT, but moving on.
Anyway, so then, they're outside the card store, and the card store manager comes out, and he's like, oh, hey, Gao, how you doing? Have you come play some buddy fight against our new champion named Winn?
Winn.
Moving on. But
I thought it really wind, but whatever.
It's, I don't know, but either way...
Either way, it's dumb, because clearly the robot voice thing just says her name at the end anyway.
Yeah, so,
It was just there to try to throw people off on the idea that she is not a girl, even though...
she has eyelashes, pink eyes!
And quite literally, her hips do not lie.
Yep. That, and she has cleavage.
Yes, that's true too.
That line doesn't go away. I want to understand
And
this.
it's not even like her face is even hidden at all times. Like, halfway through the episode, she has her face clearly visible.
With her big eyelashes. Wait, I want to get this. How do people not understand when someone's a girl when it clearly has a chest? Because this happens to me. I'm going to admit it does.
Because people are dumb. It's not that hard.
Yeah, so...
Like I said earlier, hips do not lie.
Mm-hmm.
If they aren't women, they're definitely feminine in some way. And it should be acknowledged.
Yes. So then,
Or she should at least stop wearing knee socks. I'm just going to throw that out there, too. Knee socks, short shorts, clearly a man. Yeah, keep going. I just wanted to point that out before I forgot.
So yeah, Drum ends up in Dragon World. He gets a rocket-powered drill sword. It's pretty great.
Yep, I was hoping it would be that.
Yeah, so then he falls into a river and he's like, I don't know how to work this thing! And it starts activating, he flies through the river and he accidentally flies in and kills a monster in an elven village that has the Leak Man in it.
Yeah, apparently everyone from our world is in Dungeon World. just in an alternate form. So that explains how Dungeon World's heroes work.
Literally a parallel dimension.
Yep, it's just a parallel dimension to our world, but with a lot of monsters running around.
Yep. So,
which means that's going to be really suck when they start getting used in the show.
I'm Brave Gao, but I'm Gao. No, I'm Gao.
I don't even know how that's going to make him feel.
They're just never going to show up.
They probably won't, even though clearly they are canon in the show.
Yep. So then the elven village is like, thank you! You are the legendary hero from the sky! Let us give you a giant plate of fruit and explain to you what's going on. And Drum's like, okay. I don't care. So then, they're like, you are the legendary hero from blah blah blah, and you've come to save us. There's a monster king underneath the mountain, and you need to go kill it. And he's like, I wonder if my dad wants me to become more buff. And they're like, are you even listening? Oh, well, we're gonna put you on this cart and just take you there.
I think he was just already on the cart, and he just grabbed, like, the things and just dragged it. Either way. He's like, alright, time to take you to the monster.
So then, we cut back to Winn fighting the Whipping Boys, as they will now be referred to.
Yeah, they're just the Whipping Boys. They are literally just there to lose, just like Danger World.
And, two things. One, her core gadget is a green basketball, which is pretty great. It's constantly spinning. It's kind of adorable. And two, her buddy is a grumpy owl monster.
Yeah, we already knew about the item monster existing. I didn't know it could talk.
Yeah.
And I didn't know it was an old coot.
Yeah, it is great. I love it. He's... what's the name of that owl from Ocarina of Time?
I just called him Annoying Owl. I never actually remembered his name.
That or he acts like the owl from Winnie the Pooh.
Well, I want to know the name of. Pro tip, it's Owl.
I never watched Winnie the Pooh.
Whatever.
So then, confirmed that, the store manager confirms that, Dungeon World, basically their core mechanic is chance. Everything is on a chance system, whether that be rock, paper, scissors, or whether that be your opponent choosing the effect without knowing what it will do.
But, you know, that actually is fine. Only because there's actually some variety. At first I was fearing it was going to be mostly rock, paper, scissors, and that was it. But all the cards she used were all various different ones. None of them were rock, paper, scissors, in fact.
Yeah.
That you actually got to see effects used for.
I wrote down every single one, so when we hit them, I will explain.
Okay, and I just, I don't know. It's just something about luck factor in a game where luck isn't the main factor. It just feels better because it's a wild card in a game where everything is.
Not as wild.
It's not, yeah, not as wild. So it actually stands out as its own thing, as opposed to a certain other game I can mention where it's all based on just luck. Exactly.
But anyway, the thing I like about it is that it doesn't seem like it'll just be a pure negative effect. I was really afraid that Dungeon World was just going to become, what are the tarot cards in Yu-Gi-Oh?
Oh, Arcana Force.
Yeah, I thought they were just going to be Arcana Force only with rock, paper, scissors. But now it seems like certain effects, it's like you get one of two
Either
good
you
effects.
get a good thing or you get a good thing.
Yeah.
Like that fire card.
Yeah.
Either it goes to gauge or you keep it.
Mm-hmm.
I guess.
No.
You get drawn 2 cards. You get to either keep one or lose both to the gauge. Or something like that. That's pretty okay.
Yeah, so, then, she summons Butt Hearts.
Butt Hearts.
Butt Hearts. They're called Gummy Mimis. They have 2 crit. That's all I knew from them, because they were able to do damage once. And they seem to be size 1s, because she was able to summon 2 to the field along with another monster. Unless they're size 0s.
It's a butt.
It's a butt.
And an upside down heart. That Drum has no problems just setting on fire.
Yeah, because then we cut back to Drum, and he's like, I have this ancient tablet the elves gave me, and there's all these butt hearts everywhere. I better use it. So he uses it, and it summons everybody.
Yep.
It summons Tasku as a paladin, or knight.
Tasku is legendary hero. That's all. Yeah. That's all they said.
And then craftsman Baku, dancing magician Tetsuya, and sage Lamphead.
Kuguru.
Thank you. So he's like, all right, let's kill these guys, and they're like, we don't work together. You're some lame average hero. We're legendary heroes. Meh.
Well, just Tusk who said that. I don't think the others are.
Yeah, they just kind of bitched around, and then he was like, "Fine, I'll just breathe fire everywhere."
It's like, hey, you guys suck. He just sets them all up, everyone on fire.
I'm gonna go Bowser on this mother.
And then someone in the show actually points out, why didn't he just do that to begin with?
Don't answer that. At least they pointed it out, though. So then, back to Winn and the Whipping Boys. And we see Pillar of Fire, which kills a monster. It killed Garg, so we don't know if it has a size limitation or anything. All we know is that it killed Guard.
Well, in the preview, we saw that, for the next episode, we saw that thing of fire around Halberd.
Halberd.
So I guess it's any monster.
Which is
Or
pretty
at least
cool.
size 2 or lower.
Yep. I don't know what I wrote there. Anyway, so...
Alright. You don't know what you wrote there?
No, I wrote down, that monster is just crazy. I think I was trying to make a note.
Alright, continue.
Anyway, so then they reach this golem, and,
They're still fighting with each other because they don't know how to get along. And then Drum makes this realization. They're acting just like babies.
They all want to do what they want, and they're crying because they can't do what they want. They're just like babies! That links us back to that metaphor that the dad said. Still doesn't make any sense, but at least he's learning.
Yeah, you see. So if everyone has their own ideals and want to do what they want to do to take care of a problem, like being attacked by a giant lava golem, or at least a golem that came out of lava, they're just babies. Not under any sort of pressure. They're just complaining because they can.
So then, Drum's like, okay, it's teamwork time. Everyone protect Kuguru while she looks up the weakness of this golem. You go to left, you go to right, you two link attack, but I want to be in center. Fine, you go in center.
Did she ever say what the weakness was?
It was like some gem on his back.
Just like an Adventure Time. What else is a gem? Turns around, giant-ass gem. Oh.
Making a lot of Adventure Time references. Oh,
Whatever.
it's on our brain. So then,
It's only because it's D&D based too.
yeah, or it was.
It used to be anyway.
So then, Drum's like, I get it now! I know what I was missing! A catchphrase!
No, wait, that's not it.
Then he, starts going on and on about how he learned about strategy and about teamwork and how Gao starts to learn that, he likes the feeling of the rush he gets from playing Buddyfight and how much fun he has it. And, Winn is about to lose. She goes to 0 life points, and all of a sudden she uses a card that destroys itself.
He gives an item because there's a shield and sword in her bag, and then it wasn't there, and someone called it an item. I think the manager did.
Yeah, so it's an item that, when you go to 0 life points, it destroys itself, and then you look at the top card of your deck, and if it's a spell, go to 3.
Oh my god, that's silly.
It is.
There's only going to be a spell-heavy deck just to try to make sure that happens.
Yep. So then, she uses the card which basically draws 2, and she goes, which one of these is Fire Pillar? And he's like, the one over there? She's like, correct! That means I get to keep it, because if you didn't, I'd have to send it to the gauge. Ah.
Huh. I'm really liking what these Dungeon World things are doing so far. They're just fun.
Yeah, it seems like it's a really fun deck. It's basically, you feel kind of like a con man who's like, okay, now where's the ball?
It's like back in the old days with in Vanguard with Nova Grapplers, where it was one of those decks where it's like, if you win with it, it's awesome, but if you didn't, it's not like your opponent gets to brag they beat Nova Grapplers. Because back in the day, it wasn't sunshine and roses.
It isn't extreme and reverse and motherfucking Darkwing Duck.
Back then, and I'm talking about back when your option was Ashura Kaiser, a Zero Dragon, and I think that was it. They didn't have a whole lot of options in the first few sets.
Mr. Invincible.
Oh yeah, Mr. Invincible, which was used in that one Kagero deck hybrid at the time, at least for a little while.
Invincible Overlord.
And then a Zero Dragon showed up, and then it didn't matter anymore.
Yeah. So, girly girl wins, and it announced the robot thing announces her name like winner. I didn't catch what her name was.
Whatever, we can look at it later.
Yeah. So.
Point is, it's a girl's name because it's a girl, and no one even realized it, even though it's clearly a girl.
Yeah, and he's like, I can't believe I lost to a girl. And she's like, what, did you think girls can't play the game? And it's like, well, the show has shown us so far that only one woman can.
Yeah, so only one girl has, and the only record we have of her fighting is losing. It's not exactly a confidence builder for women so far, considering none of the women really play the game in this show. They're just kind of there.
Yeah, that or they're kicking people in the face.
Yep. It's almost like they should have these women that they have just sitting around and actually play a game or something, instead of just being there for moral support.
Yeah. For all the knowledge Kuguru has about this game, she never uses it.
I don't even think she has a deck.
Kuguru, what's your deck? Paruko, we know uses Hero World, but we have yet to see it.
She must have a deck because she has a buddy.
She showed it to us.
That means she had what?
She showed it to us in the first episode. She put up her
card. I thought she just showed up the card. Well, whatever the case is, even if that weren't the case, she has a buddy. That must mean that she opens packs. Either that or...
She does this Pokemon style where she only collects the cards.
Maybe. Either that or Takasuge is so inspired by her ability to turn into a zombie at will that he had to come over.
She's so bubbly. I must touch her.
No, he always does.
So then, Drum goes back home and he's like, Dad, I figured it out! And the dad's still messing with the babies. Just ignoring him.
He really likes babies.
He really does. So then, he's like, oh, I just noticed you're here. So, you learned? That was fast. He's like, yeah, see, I got this ancient tablet and I got this horn. Not mentioning at all that he just learned about teamwork and friendship and fun and strategy. None of that. Just, I got a demon horn and I got a tablet. And so naturally his dad's mad and he's like, go to a different world! He's like, I'm not letting you come home until you learn something from one of these worlds.
Oh my god, Drum, why didn't you just say something? You didn't even actually say it. He just said, I got this and this from Dungeon World. This is what you meant, right? You didn't even say anything.
He didn't send you out with a grocery list, Drum. I need a demon horn and an ancient tablet, and if you could pick up those, like, Jaffa cakes from Britain or something. So then I'm back with Whipping Boy and Winn. Just gonna call her that.
Don't you mean Winn and Gao? Because those guys, after they re-challenged her, just disappeared.
Yeah, they were like, oh, we want another match, and then Gao's like, nope, I'm fighting her.
So she was like, oh, cool. It's like, and they're like, all right, this is actually kind of fun. And then, literally the next scene, we see Gao's missing from where he was because he's in the castle, ready to challenge her.
It was really...
I'm like, where did the other guys go? They just challenged her to a rematch.
I was actually really hoping that since Dungeon World was the one that rekindled his spirit, he'd be switching to it since Drum was in Dungeon World, but that's not gonna happen. So that's where the episode ends. Next episode, Winn versus Gao.
Spoilers, I bet you Gao's gonna win.
But the even bigger spoilers, Ryuga's back!
Yes, that's right. From what we saw in the previews, Ryuga has returned.
I didn't mean to fling it like that. I just ruined everything.
Yes, it was for like a second, but yeah, he was there, looking, well, like his usual self, but looked like he had some wandering clothes, as you do when you quit school.
He became a hobo.
And a grin.
Yeah, he was actually happy.
Whatever that could mean, though, you know, it's still Ryuga. And also, we also have a half second of Kiri looking angsty, and by looking I mean you see him gripping the rails of wherever he's at.
He had too much to drink, he's gonna throw up.
Which, when you combine with his actions on the boat, maybe they think we're gonna see Legend World fairly soon.
Hopefully, especially since Drum's going on these journeys to different places.
Booster 4 or 5, like predicted, it looks like. I believe a few people, including ourselves, have predicted it would show up probably around Rooster 4 or 5.
Yeah, I'm hoping 4.
And it's looking like it's going to be right on schedule.
Which is good. Get this plot moving.
At least it is moving.
Yeah.
Drum's doing his thing. The new character's introduced. Next episode, Ruga is returning. Things are still happening. So all in all, your opinion?
It broke the 2-episode good, 1-episode bad curse.
Yeah, that's true. Can you elaborate?
This episode was pretty good. It wasn't the best, but it was a lot better than a lot of the things we've seen out of this show.
It's slowly getting better. I feel like this episode was better than the last one, and the last one was better than the one before it, and all 3 of them are like a billion times better than the one before that. It's actually slowly, increasing in terms of not just character development, but also in terms of plot, setting, characters, appearing, while still showing out the cards, which, you do when it's a card show. It's actually on track again. Hopefully we can see that way, knock on wood, but we did break the 3-episode rule, so... the 2-episode rule, so we have 3 in a row. 4th one looks like it's going to be interesting. Because I'm sure we'll see where Drum is sent to next. We're going to have a fight with Dungeon World versus Dragon World. Even though I'm certain that Gao's going to win. Because
he's Gao.
He hasn't lost yet. We got Kiri angsting. We got Ruga appearing after 18 episodes. There's a lot of things happening, but they don't seem like they would overlap with each other, like when they had Tetsuya versus Jin, while Tasuku was going out fighting in a coliseum.
Everything's looking up Millhouse.
Everything's coming up Millhouse, except for in a good way.
Yep. The only gripes I really had with this episode was, we didn't get to see a lot of Dungeon World, which is okay, because we're going to see more of it next episode, unlike with Katana World, where they blue-balled us for a little bit. And then the only other gripe I had was they had that 5 minutes of moral learning and ramming it into our face, only for Drum to completely forget it.
Yeah. But otherwise, it was pretty decent, pretty good.
Also, when you're trying to show us past footage, turn the audio down to negative 48 hertz!
Or... for those who don't know what the hell you're talking about, hit the mute button on the stock footage. It can't be that hard. Have it on for when you need it to be on, and then turn it on when turn it off when the dialogue that you needed has been put out there.
Just take out the audio track. Do something.
I think muting would be a lot easier than ripping the track out. Whatever. That's just a small gripe, though, because at least it's not trying to give us false beliefs that don't make sense in terms of human morality.
You don't need to be a superhero.
But, yeah, good episode overall. So, let's see what we got coming up here. Well, next would be Vanguard 177?
Yes.
Yes. Hopefully, Corrine will give us some, plot movement.
Corrine's back.
She's back, and hopefully we'll make things happen, especially because,
we need to move again.
Yeah, we were going to get the trial decks.
Mm-hmm.
So, something's got to be going on.
Oh, yeah, Aichi confirmed for Link Joker. That was some news that came up during the middle of the week.
It's true. It just is irrelevant because, he's using Link Joker because he's on the trial deck, and what better way to explain what's happening than have Corrine bring it up? Because Aichi's obviously not going to do it. He's kind of comatose.
Yep.
Which, still I don't know 100% why it is, because I still don't know where everyone's allegiances are lying. Especially now. Or if we can even say Link Joker is actually evil or not at this point, at least his. I wouldn't be surprised if they did. Look at
They
Affleck
do need
Force.
to somehow friendshipify Link Joker.
They do if they want to keep it around, because they can't just keep having them be the go-to bad guy. It'll get boring.
They can't become Team Rocket.
Yeah, then they'll literally become Link Joker, because it'll just be a joke. They keep coming back trying to be intimidating, and then they just lose. And it's like, okay, whatever. So, yeah, it could be that. It could even be that they were converted to stop an even bigger threat. It could even just be that different factions, like, you know, Team Plasma and Neo Team Plasma.
Yes.
Or he could just be possessed because of reasons, you know, because technically last season the Link Joker didn't leave him, even though he said he could feel the Link Joker in the presence in the world fading as he was fighting Kai. So I would assume that would imply that his own Link Joker that is inside of him also is fading. Since everywhere else in the world it was fading, and he said it pretty clearly, in fact.
Rused us!
Yeah, so either that was just a lie.
Aichi doesn't know
The
shit.
new writers did not get the memo about that. Or this is something completely different.
And now for something completely different.
But only time will tell, and time is hopefully 24 hours from now.
Yep.
Maybe a little bit more, but yeah. Also, next weekend, I should say, we may or may not have the videos on time due to some of us going on vacation.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. So we'll try to get them taken care of, but if they're late, then you'll know why. At the very least, I hope next week we can get Buddyfight taken care of.
Yes, hopefully.
And maybe I can try to get to Vanguard. If we can even remember, there's going to be so much stuff happening. And then we'll get back to the normal thing, hopefully the following weekend. So with all that being said, we wait for the Link Joker
Yes.
to appear. We wait for the plot to appear again, instead of just the hype.
Are you guys ready for Triangle Legion?
Triangle Legion?
Yeah, people are saying that Link Joker's gonna Triangle Lock.
You said Triangle Legion.
I meant that Legion's going to Triangle Lock.
Alright. Yeah, well, we'll see. It could be that. It could be something completely different. It depends on what they're wanting to do.
Yep.
So, until next time, everybody.
See ya.
Keep on buddy fighting. Convince your friends to buddy fight. Buddy, buddy, buddy. Fight, fight, fight.
Talk about it.